So, KLX 110. Why did I buy a children's motorbike for myself? That's what some of my friends are asking. Basically, yeah, just to make myself a pit bike and to have some fun doing a bit of moto again. So, I picked up a 2006 KLX 110 in like really terrible condition. Looks like the bike's been left in the rain for many of those years. And yeah, the plan is to rebuild the thing, modify it a bit, make it a bit more adult friendly, and yeah, give it a new life. Pit biking used to be massive in the Johannesburg about sort of in the 2005-2006 era. Used to be loads of people rocking up for races on the weekend. You know, there were regional championships and all sorts of things. But you know, as quick as the sport grew, it sort of died at the same rate. And yeah, there's a couple of guys now who've got on 110s here in Cape Town. It seems like all over the world people are getting on 110s again and growing pit biking again. So this time it's on Japanese bikes, and that's why I'm hoping to get this KLX 110 off the ground. And yeah, so let's jump straight into the build and I'll show you some of the progress so far. So yeah, this is the progress so far. I missed a bit of the initial filming because I just wanted to get stuck in and tear the bike down. I've taken, on the first day I got it, I stripped it down to sort of bare parts, got all of the frame, swing arm, triple clamps, all of that stuff powder coated, sandblasted, so to get rid of all the rust and stuff. Ordered a new shock, so reed bound adjustable D&M shock. The forks were completely trashed. They were bent as well as actually rusted beyond repair. So I had to order some new forks off T-Bolt in the States. But yeah, the frame's looking good so far. It still needs some work, some things put on it. But for now, I'm gonna leave this and get stuck into rebuilding the engine. So one of the coolest processes I've learned doing this project is a process called vapor blasting. Now, it's basically a type of fine sandblasting that's non-damaging or non-abrasive to aluminium parts, and the results are just crazy. This was all rusted and sort of banged up and neglected from years of being left probably in the mud or rain or whatever. And this part just looks brand new. I mean, look at this thing. It's just insane. And that is just how it's going to stay now. It's just the actual raw material kind of back to its original form. So I'm super chuffed with this. It's not really expensive. You just have to strip everything down and clean it properly. And yeah, it's a great process to bringing an engine part back to life. So the first thing I've got to do on the engine rebuild is pretty much rebuild this head. I stripped it for the vapor blasting. It needs some work. I need to put the valves back in, put the cam back in, do a few little things, replace some of the seals. Luckily I've got a whole bunch of seals and gaskets from T-Bolt. So one of the benefits of being an industrial designer and having 3D printers around is you can make those kind of pesky tools that are very specialized and you'd never have. And one of those is a valve compressor, which is an annoying tool if you don't have it. So I basically just 3D printed a valve compressing tool that works just with a standard G-clamp, and this is a huge help when putting valves in and out. And it doesn't have to be very durable, it has to just work once or twice. It's cheap to make, and yeah, super cool tool. Okay, so engine's looking pretty good. Got most of the head and cylinder and everything complete. And yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can go for now until I get the casings, and then we can put it in the frame. So I'm gonna head home, it's pretty late, and carry on with this tomorrow. So back at the office, carrying on with the mini motor build, and let's talk wheels. So I thought I was pretty far with the wheels, stripped them down, got them powder coated, took the nipples out, put them in some vinegar to try and get some of the rust off. And when we started building, we started noticing that the nipples are actually pulling through, and they were a bit too corroded. So I thought I had gotten pretty far, but now I have to replace all of these nipples. So yeah, I'm gonna get stuck in and get going with that. Alright, so the wheels are done and it's time to move on to the rest of the build. One of the things that was really irritating me with building this bike was kind of bending over and working on it on the ground. So it felt a bit amateur. I decided to go a bit overboard with some aluminium profiles I had lying around to build a bike stand. And I'm pretty happy with the result. Now I can work at it kind of without bending over the whole time, and it looks pretty cool too. Let's talk build progress. So far I've mounted the motor in the frame. I've put on the gas tank, run the fuel lines, run the electrics, and yeah, just a couple of things left now. Basically need to get the exhaust pipe on, and yeah, waiting still for plastics and graphics to complete that, so not far off now. So I wanted to show you guys the graphic concept before showing you how the plastics came out and everything. This is just the stock KLX 110 on screen. I've done some photoshopping to try and get closer to the end concept. So the first thing I changed is the black wheels and black frame. I think it already looks pretty cool. The next thing I've gone for is like an all black plastics look. Also a tall seat just gives it a bit more of an aggressive stance. And yeah, these are the final graphics that I've come up with for the bike. Did a little custom line components graphic kit, and yeah, pretty excited how these came out and pretty keen to see how they look like on the bike. So the 110 build is finished, and I'm on the way to meet some of the other guys with 110s in Cape Town and give the thing its first ride. And to say I'm excited is probably an understatement. So yeah, let's see how she goes.